Okay, the meeting is now called to order at 6:02. And now I will pass it on to Sonia for roll call.
Okay, Commissioner Gard.
Here.
Commissioner Chen.
Here.
Commissioner Mukherjee.
Here.
Commissioner Guzari.
Here.
Chair Guzari, sorry. Commissioner Sue. Do you like Sue or Seth?
Oh, Sue.
Sue. Okay. Commissioner Lau.
Yes.
Commissioner Liu.
Here.
Commissioner Misra.
Okay, so then we will now move on to our ceremonial matters and presentations for today. So our first subject is going through over the October through December events. And the recommended action is to receive a presentation on the October through December events from Recreation Coordinator Mariah Green.
Yeah, one sec, Mariah.
Yes, she's not right.
Sorry. Just send away here. Okay. There we go.
Ready?
Now you're ready.
Okay. Hey, so I'm Mariah. I'm the recreation coordinator for the youth and preschool programs and events for Parks and Recreation. I'm just gonna be going over with you guys all the events that we have coming up over the next few months from October through December. So to kick things off, we go into our Monster Mash event. It's gonna be held October 26th. This is geared towards families with kids that are 12 years or younger. Through the event, it's a 3-hour event in the evening that we have crafts, games that the kids can win prizes, and of course we do trick or treating. Then we're gonna go into December and we're gonna start off with our annual tree lighting event. It's held in the evening of December 6th. Through the night, we'll spend time with carolers. Santa comes in with the fire department on the fire truck. And then families can enjoy a sense of community and come together and gather, and then also take pictures with Santa. The next morning, we hold our very cherished event, our breakfast with Santa. This families come and join us here at the Quinlan Community Center. For a morning, there's 3 different seating times, and they can come join us for a pancake breakfast. They also get to hang around, chat with each other and other families, and then also take a picture and talk with Santa. They also get to make take-home crafts for the morning. After that, the second and third weekend in December, we jump into our Santa visits. We actually fully decorate one of our city vans. It's all lit up and Santa goes from house to house in this awesome van. It's got presents in it. Santa and his elf will visit certain families that sign up. And they get to spend about 10 to 15 minutes talking with Santa outside their homes. It's really fun to see the kids get super excited and have Santa actually visit them. So it's very fun for the families around here for Cupertino. And then we also have a really unique event to Cupertino. So December 14th, we hold our signing with Santa. This event is for families and children that are hard of hearing. It gives them a really unique experience that they actually get to conversate with Santa. Families will also enjoy coming together as a community and having some cookies and spending the morning together. So after that, we jump into our holiday events at the Senior Center. Starting off with the Aloha Nani Hula dancers. They put on a show for us, doing hula dancing and singing songs, performing with Hawaiian music. Then we jump into our monthly birthday bash. So the senior members can all come together on December 11th. They get to enjoy a lunch together and celebrate with their friends in December. Then we head into on December 13th, we have the season greetings cookie box. So our seniors have put together these wonderful cookie boxes that you can pre-register for, and you can pick them up on the 13th, and you can either enjoy a nice box of cookies for yourself, or you can give them to friends and family. After that, we jump into our holiday sing-along, where members can come together and sing holiday songs. That's put on and led by our Harmonicats band. And to finish things off, we have our new event, Senior Center at the Winter Ball, that's going to be held on December 20th. The seniors get to come registered, come to the event, dressed in their formal holiday attire, and spend the night, dancing away, enjoying food and music with their friends from the senior center. And that concludes our stuff for our holiday events. Some of the events, especially Monster Mash, tree lighting, breakfast with Santa, we love to have volunteers help us with these events. So if any of you or anyone you know are interested, you guys can chat with Sonia about volunteering for any of the events. Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, do we have any clarifying questions? No. Okay, no public comment? Any discussion? No? Okay. Now we will move on to our next ceremonial matter, thank you so much. Now let's move on to our second subject, which is community outreach. And the recommended action is to receive a presentation on community outreach from marketing specialist Brandon Hurt.
Hello. Okay, let me share the presentation and we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. My name is Brenton Kurt, and I serve as a public outreach specialist for the Parks and Recreation Department. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about how the city uses marketing and community outreach to connect with our residents and highlight the communication guidelines of the city. Our Parks and Recreation Department uses a multi-phase marketing approach to share information about services, programs, events, and with the community. We reach people through a variety of channels like social media, email, print, digital platforms, and displays. By using these different marketing avenues, we can connect with a broad audience, including teens, families, seniors, ensuring the target audience is reached and our community stays informed and engaged. As part of your agenda packet, you receive 3 key communication tools from the city of Cupertino: the brand guidelines, the style guidelines, and the social media policy. These documents are essential for understanding how the city maintains a consistent and professional image in its communications with residents and community members. I encourage you to review them closely as they provide important details about how we present the city across all platforms. Let's begin with the brand guidelines, which defines how the city visually represents itself. These guidelines establish the city's color palette, typography, and proper logo usage. By following this document, we ensure that all city communications maintain a consistent identity, giving our materials a cohesive look and feel. This consistency helps the community quickly and easily recognize official City of Cupertino communications across various platforms. Next, we have the City Style Guide, which defines how the city sounds in its communications. This guide ensures consistency in grammar, punctuation, and spelling across all city publications. It covers key elements like clear and effective writing, inclusive language, punctuation, and proper grammar. By adhering to these guidelines, we ensure the city maintains a unified voice regardless of who is delivering the message. When should these guidelines be applied? The city style guidelines should be used when composing official communication on behalf of the city, whether it's emails, flyers, social media posts, or other materials. By following these guidelines, we ensure that our community can consistently and easily recognize official city communication. Lastly, let's discuss the city's social media policy. The city manages its social media platforms as a public service to share information and tell the city's story. We use these accounts to post about a wide range of topics, including events, community highlights, public meetings, good photos, notices, surveys, and more. Our approach to social media is not a one-size-fits-all. What works well on Facebook might not work well on Instagram, or platforms like X or Nextdoor. For each post or campaign, we carefully consider the goals and the target audience to determine which platforms are best suited for the message. The City of Cupertino's official social media platforms include Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, Nextdoor, and Yelp. As team commissioners, it's important to remember that you represent the city, so be mindful of this responsibility when using social media. Any official communications on behalf of the city, whether it's an email to the city's teen subscribers or a post about an upcoming initiative on Instagram, must be reviewed and approved by staff. This ensures all messaging is consistent in both appearance and tone, maintaining the city's professional image and clear communication. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any clarifying questions? No? Okay, we have no public, Any- okay, do we have any discussion? Any discussion or comments? No, I think we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay, now let's move on to our last ceremony matter / presentation for this meeting. So the subject is cybersecurity, and the recommended action is to receive a presentation on cybersecurity from Innovation Technology Manager Tommy Yu.
Tommy, you're muted.
Sorry about that. So good evening, commissioners. My name is Tommy Yu. I'm the IT infrastructure manager for the city IT department. So every year we do a brief kind of cybersecurity awareness presentation for all the commissions. And just so happens October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And so be a good time to start these presentations. So let me get started here. So look a little brief look at our agenda. We'll be talking about the cyber threat landscape, a little bit about ransomware phishing, what that means to local government for our city, briefly about our city cybersecurity defense, and some general security tips. We'll follow up with some resources and open to questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So the cyber threat landscape, it's always changing. This is just a really quick graphic about a lot of different threats out there. As you can see, there's hacking, there's fraud, there's spyware, viruses, malicious software. So there's always a lot of different things going out there that we, as IT professionals in the security space, we had to also be mindful of. So here you can see this graph is from the FBI's Internet Crime Report, which they have a service, the Internet Crime Complaint Center. These are basically complaints that companies or agencies can report to the FBI when they've been the victim of a crime, internet crime. So here is showing the 14 top critical infrastructure sectors in the country. You can see that government facilities is in the top 3. So keep in mind, these numbers are the reported successful attacks, which means that the agency may have been affected by ransomware or some other cyber attack. So I'll go into a little bit details of what that means, and for us here, like here. So recent successful cyber attacks. So just this past year, last couple months, City of Oakley, City of Pleasant Hill, Solano County Library, City of St. Helena, Superior Court of Los Angeles County, the City of Pittsburgh back in August. So these are just agencies, local government agencies around in California, and just California. This is not even just showing all the other attacks that happen in other states around the country. And again, these are only public reported ones. There are plenty of other attacks that haven't been released or it's not in the public news. It's kind of more maybe still going under potential legal avenues with their cyber insurance or their attorneys. So that's may not be public yet. So there's that old saying, it's not a matter of if you get hit with a cyber attack, but when. So what do we do about that? And then just really quick, I just want to follow up of these attacks. See, these are successful attacks, meaning to make more clarity that most likely, for the most part, a lot of them have been hit with ransomware, which means there's disruption to their systems, either the city emails down, the website, permit services, any kind of public facing services may have been affected by ransomware. So what do we do about this? Well, for the city cybersecurity defense, this graphic we've used before, but it's always it's important to highlight that even if you invest in all the greatest firewalls, encryptions, antivirus software, you still have a weakness, which is the human component. You see here, Dave, in the corner here, human error. So that means when someone clicks on the link they shouldn't have, or replies back to someone they shouldn't, a lot like phishing or social engineering, that can lead to potential infection or ransomware cases. So what specifically do we do? In general, we follow best practices. So that means and includes vulnerability scans, which is scanning in our networks, our servers, our endpoints for any known vulnerabilities that we're missing any patches, where any known advisories of potential threats. So we keep on top of that with our team. We do frequently do penetration tests, which means using some of the either do a consultant or a partner. There's a set of tools that we can use to simulate what a hacker or a bad actor could use to kind of see if we have any weak points in our system, in our network. And as I mentioned earlier, it's just a matter of time when, not if. So what do? We need to have good incident response plans and disaster recovery plans. That means, how do we respond to a ransomware attack? What do we do? What have we done to prevent and mitigate? And when we do get hit, if we get hit, and when we get hit, how do we mitigate the damage? What are our plans to get systems back up and running and restoring services to the city? And of course, as I mentioned, firewalls, antivirus, secure servers, those services, those are all part of the standard, what most IT departments have. As you know, MFA, multi-factor authentication that you're familiar with accessing your email. That's, multi-factor meaning something like your password, and something you have, like a authenticator app that sends a push alert or a code or text message as that second factor to complete your login to access a system. The last part is just training and notification. Going back to Dave, that human error, a lot of that is, the way we kind of handle that is just more and more training and notification in terms of getting up to date on the latest practices. So for us in the city, it's mandatory for anyone with a Cupertino email address to go through our cybersecurity training. And we do conduct regular phishing campaigns, which are simulations of emails, and we track to see who actually clicks on that or responds to it. That way we can send out remedial training as needed. And as you know, we have this caution banner. This is just an indicator that the email you got is from outside the organization. It's not from Cupertino. So these are kind of standard things that a lot of agencies and companies provide. So a really quick refresher on a phishing email example. What we typically see is emails from pretending to be either the mayor, a council member, a commissioner, a director, and they want staff or somebody to do something. Some of the clear, obvious signs are look at what the email address is coming from. Typically, it's from a Gmail or some free email service. It's not from a Cupertino email address. Related to that, you'll see if it's from the outside, it has that yellow caution banner. That's the other telltale sign. Other red flags in the email, if like see here, could you please spare a minute? This is me completing tasks discreetly. So look at those keywords. If someone is asking you to do something like discreetly or secretly, they don't want you to tell anyone, it's a surprise. Those are, obvious red flags. The last part of here, it says, we'll be glad to receive a response through email because I'm presently in a meeting. So they don't want you to verify in person or other means. So if you have any doubt, just always verify in a different method because they're expecting hoping that you respond back to that fake email where, the real person doesn't know what's going on. So always kind of keep that in mind. So going to the kind of general security tips, just think before you click. For our city email, there is an option to report any suspicious emails with that official report button. Most email services like Gmail and Yahoo, there's a similar feature in there where you can report it as phishing or spam. So for this is our equivalent for our city email. Other security tips, just keep in mind in creating strong passwords, at least 12 characters, use passphrases that are easy to remember but hard to crack or hard to guess. It could be a combination of different information pieces and numbers. And of course, if available, set up MFA or 2FA, the multi-factor authentication. If your bank, your financial services, any of those critical services use, if it's available, I would recommend you set that up. And always keep your personal devices updated. There's a lot of devices you may have at home personally, your cell phones, your tablets, your computers, a lot of Internet of Things devices such as security cameras and smart devices, a smart fridge or smart lights. All of those are connected to your Wi-Fi. They may have updates that they need to keep it secure and updated. And lastly, it just seems a little obvious, but I can tell you that I still see some people in some capacity with their personal phones, they don't have a passcode on there for whatever reason. At least for the city, for all city cell phones, we require a password. It's part of our policy, but just for your personal side, make sure you have a passcode on your phone in case you forget it somewhere or it gets lost or stolen, that no one else can easily get into your phone. That passcode is the first line of defense you have for your phones. And I'll finish up here. These are just some of the resources and best practices that the city follows. So CISA is a cybersecurity infrastructure security agency. It's part of the Department of Homeland Security. And there's a lot of best practices and security controls that we follow to keep up to date. The Center for Internet Security is another good agency. It's a nonprofit that provides a lot of guidance and best practices as well. And the third link here I have is Microsoft Cybersecurity Awareness. That's a good resource for a lot of good training and tips for all sorts of users. So from business owners to students to residents, there's a wide variety of information there. So, and that concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Justin? Oh, yeah. Do we have any clarifying questions again? Any comments? No? Okay.
I have a question actually, honestly, then. Tommy, have they already been required to go through training, the commission? This commission? Does that come from IT?
Yes, so for every commissioner employee, they should be automatically enrolled in a cybersecurity training program. So it's definitely we'll be sending out emails, and we are starting to enforce that a little bit more and keeping track of who hasn't completed it yet.
Just show of hands, have any of you already done a training program
Last year.
just last year and the new commissioners?
Like.
Okay, so because we just had a changeover, so I was just curious if they've done that. Okay. So it sounds like we've caught all of you. Great.
Yeah, we'll probably be sending a new training out later this month as well. As a refresher, since it is a cybersecurity awareness month. So expect another email soon.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, now we will move on to the approval of minutes. So just take some short time to through the meeting. All good? Okay. Does anyone want to motion to approve the meeting minutes? Type of way, last name?
Well, sharing in ceremony, there approved, but my last name says.
Over here.
Gotcha.
Rory's last name. Wasn't it? Rory's last name was who? I think it's Brad.
On that, yeah.
Okay, does anyone want to motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I motion to approve.
Anyone second? Okay, we don't,
Jen
and
and
then commission. Okay, we don't have any postponements. We don't have any oral communications for today. We don't have any written communications or old business. So now we will just move on to our new business, which is to confirm commissioners at upcoming events. And the recommended action is to confirm events that team commissioners will participate in for fiscal year 2024 to 2025.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you. So now that we've started the new commission term, all would have received something from Robert Kaufman, and he had like indicated the upcoming events. So you're gonna get more of those throughout the year, and it's just a reminder to check your pretty regularly, and we have a pretty long time frame out on planning, and so Robert is really trying to secure people early on. And so just a reminder, because we did not hear back on some upcoming things very quickly. So I'm gonna go through the any that are still that have a spot for you so that you can get them on your calendar if you're interested in participating. So Monster Mash, we have the moderator position is taken by Anika, and then but we can always use more people to volunteer. And I think that's the other part of it is that primarily we are trying to get you in as moderators, judges, speakers for a lot of these, but also you can come and be a volunteer at the event. You can just participate in the event, and we encourage you to do that. And then you can get the word out about the event. So the next one, pizza and politics, the moderator and the segment, two segments, the roles in the segment are taken, but Robert is asking that all of you attend pizza and politics. A big team program. So if you're able, it's great to come and participate in that because you are politics in the local area. Tree lighting on December 6th, we don't have a moderator role for that, but then that's when to come. You can volunteer if you want to come and like event and be part of it that way, or just come and be at the event and enjoy the night. You can come take a picture with Santa. And then breakfast with Santa. We're still looking for some additional elves to help. There isn't really a moderator or speaker role. Okay, you worked, did anybody else work breakfast with Santa last year? Yeah, just me. So you can maybe speak to really quickly what
Yeah.
that experience was.
So breakfast with Santa, everyone just went there. We helped take pictures. We helped serve some of the pancakes, and then we also helped out with crafts. And just in general, it was a very fun event. You got to interact with a lot of cute kids. So if you just want to have a good morning, maybe eat some pancakes and some hot chocolate. Breakfast with Santa is a great event to volunteer at.
That one is a paid event, so that's not a come drop by and be
Yeah.
part of it. It's either come and volunteer or don't come.
Yeah.
Because that one is a paid event. And Monster Mashes too, that's a paid event, so it's really being here as a volunteer if you were to come to that one. Okay, so upcoming ones to get that Robert will be putting out requests for. Spelling bee will have the moderator role and the 3 judges. And the moderator role, we usually look at chair, vice chair on that one. But then 3 judges. And that event is a great experience for you to show like what leaders you are, because that event is truly the teens running it for youth. And I will say last year, sitting in and watching a little bit, there was some challenges from the parents slash participants, and the teen judges like handled the challenges and then really like held their own on the event. So that's a great one to get involved with. Gen Connect, which you may not have heard of yet, but Gen Connect is a event that we usually have through our senior center. And it's usually some kind of event that they try to bring multi-generational groups together to have fun. Last year, their event was Disco at Dusk. And did anybody go to Disco at Dusk? Yeah, okay, so that was really fun. I don't know if they're gonna do disco, I don't know what they're gonna do exactly, but that's usually February, March, so to be announced. One year, they just did some activities and we did have a few speakers at that event, so, but it's a great one to participate in. Teen Resource Fair, this is another big one for us. I'd say like Peace and Politics, Spelling Bee, Resource Fair are like really where, you guys shine as like the leaders there. So Teen Resource Fair, Robert will put out that he'll be looking for representatives to speak to teens that show up about how they can get more involved, what kind of volunteer opportunities are available in the city. And we usually have a few of you there to speak to what exactly you're doing on the teen commission. Robert didn't have on this, but we will have Earth and Arbor Day as well. And I know, Peter, you can maybe talk a little bit about Earth and Arbor Day, as you were a moderator for at least a portion of the day, right?
Yeah, so I think like, yeah, I co-emceed it with Ursula, and what happened was they have like these like a talent show kind of stage thing off to the side of the festival, and all you do is basically they have performers and you just introduce them, you're like, all right, now next we have kind of like, I don't know, you can kind of think of it like as like a semi-professional hype man, I don't know. And then yeah, that's all you do. And some of the acts went really long, and so I also had time myself to venture out into the booths and go check it out. And I think, yeah, very nice to put together event. So.
And we're not 100% sure what that will look like this year, because our department is taking over actually coordinating Earth and Arbor Day. And so that might mean that we build more opportunities for speaking. I'm not sure. Being might be like interviewing people. The sky's kind of the limit right now. So we will be in touch with you on that. And then the last one that we have that will be April 12th is at Cupertino. And Robert has a note here that you must have coding knowledge if you want to be a judge there.
Right.
And then we're always looking for mentors that can run workshops. So the other side to your speaking opportunities and you participating is that you're the representatives of the community teams, right? And so we really one, promote the programs, promote these opportunities to participate. Obviously, YAB has like team specific things events that we put on. So of course, we want you guys participating, but also promoting and talking it up at your schools. That's part of why, as part of your charter, that we're looking for teams for the commission to be from several different schools and several different age groups. Because we want you reaching out to the community. You're the voice for the teens. So just kind of keep that in mind. Really look at your emails. It's great, even if you don't know, but you're considering, just drop an email back to Robert and say, I'm interested, I just don't know if I can be available on that day, but I'll let you know by such and such date, so that he doesn't just not hear from you. And then sometimes he just has to move on to make sure that he can secure a speaker for his events. And so it's always a lot earlier than maybe you would think that we have to get things like tied down. So we wanted to make sure to go through that and make sure that you have those dates, but Spelling Bee, January 18th, if I didn't say the date, and Teen Resource Fair, March 15th, and then Hack, April 12th, just to make sure you have those dates kind of early on. Okay, I think that was everything I wanted to say on that one.
Okay, thank you so much. And then I guess,
We can still go through questions and discussion.
yes. So do we have any clarifying?
Yeah, I had two questions. So I was just talking to Robert, and I believe I was put down as like an alternate for one of the speakers. So like, I was wondering like, what would that entail?
Oh, for Pizza and Politics, alternate would be if one of the people that he has arranged can't make it, at the last minute, he'll slide you in first.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, and he said that they were like former commissioners, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, are we doing Big Bunny this year?
Oh, yes. Big Benny, they're on his list. Big Benny is gonna be, it's early this year, March 7th or 8th, this Saturday. And Big Benny, the opportunity there will be to kind of see something that Anika and Shivika did last year together. They were co-MCs. That's a really fun one and a big one, and something that you have to be prepared to kind of on the fly be changing what you're saying. And you know, like last year, we held the race at the last minute and you guys were holding off the whole event and trying to be like, we're still having fun, but we're starting a little late while everybody gets their shirts. So it's very on the spot. And then it's also keeping everybody like excited and motivated as runners come back after they've done the run, that you're kind of cheering them in and getting the crowd into it. And then you also did the entire award ceremony, which was amazing. So that's a lot. And so if you have an interest in that one, be ready that we're going to be looking for somebody who's like really showing us that they're, you know, strong speakers and able to improvise and show a lot of professionalism. So yeah, thank you for that reminder.
I had another question. For the breakfast with Santa, what about the elves? Do you also dress up as an elf?
I did not dress up as an elf, but I know that our previous,
Raina did.
yes, our previous chair for the teen commission, she did dress up as an elf.
Okay, sounds good.
So we have some elf outfits and we have been, and so like if anybody is willing, it makes it a lot more fun for the pictures and everything, that, you know, they'll just like escort people to take a picture with Santa, or I know you took a lot of photos, so it's just fun. You might have put a hat on.
Yeah.
Like you did. So, you know, it can kind of be at the level of comfort that you're willing to do that. Great questions.
Okay, do we have any final comments or any last clarifying questions? No. Okay, then I guess the meeting is adjourned.
Still have staff and commission reports. So
Okay. So now we will move on
So staff and commission reports, so I would have a staff report as the liaison.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of times when Robert Hoffman attends, he'll have his staff report, just so how happens that his staff report is really close to what our agenda item was, our new business was. So that's why he's not here, but I have a couple of things as a liaison. You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to express is that we still have the youth-led organizations highlight program, and it's all set up. There's an application that anybody who has a youth-led organization would fill out. It's on the Teen Commission page on the website. And it's literally just a Microsoft form that comes into me, and it's just telling a little bit about the organization and you know, all the questions that you guys want, they put it in writing. And then part of that process is that they would come and present to you. And that again is that we're really trying to get the word out about unique teen resources or cool things that teens are doing for the community. It doesn't have to be that their organization just serves teens. And so we're trying to encourage those youth-led organizations to get out, to speak to you at the meetings and to do their presentation. We have that opportunity then as a commission for all of you to choose if they should be highlighted, and they would get a highlight post on Instagram. Branton, who presented tonight, would be the person that would like help to prepare that and schedule that post goes up. So our first presentation that we had, they did have a post online. And so anyway, we have two that had submitted two more, and then they just needed to delay. And so I think we're gonna have for sure one for the next presentation, or I'm sorry, the next meeting, they'll come and present. But I wanted to encourage you to go back to your schools, look at organizations. It can be an organization that you're involved in, that's okay. But even better if it's, you know, another organization in your school or a friend of yours. I just encourage you to get the word out about that, because it's kind of a cool thing for anybody who's running an organization. And then, of course, for their resume, that's nice that they've like, you know, come and present and they help to get the word out for them personally and their organization. So we'd love for all of you to just encourage that. And then that, just to reiterate the part of what your role is. And I wanted to say congratulations, your chair, Shivika, went to the council meeting and presented about what the commission does. And yeah, that was the actual council meeting. And so I know that was a lot, and she did a great job. But definitely presented to council that part of what you do is like you get out and you're, you know, the voice of teens in the area. You give us feedback, and that you are the speakers, the moderators, the judges, that's what we're doing. And so we're trying to actually make sure that we do that as a commission. But part of that too is on your end, we want your help to get the word out about programs that are happening in the city. So yeah, anyway, that's enough on that. That was my report. And then if you had anything that you wanted to share from the mayor's meeting.
Okay, so from the mayor's meeting, there were a lot of other commissions that were interested. So for example, I know the commission for like the environment, like they had some events and they were wondering if they could partner with us and like have some sort of joint event with teens. And then we also had the commission for safety, internet safety. They also reached out to us and they were like, oh, we're interested in doing something with the teen commission. So there are a lot of other commissions who are interested in working with us.
Okay. And then that will be, if we pursue that, they'll coordinate that through the liaisons, to actually see how we would do that. So, yeah. Great. Okay. Now we did that part.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned at 6:47.
Okay, hold on one second.